What is an adjective? We already know. So in this and in the next video, we are going to talk about the comparative and the superlative forms. What I mean? Well, this is the situation. Max and Anne. We know their height. What we want is to compare them. We want to say who is taller. So Max is 1.75, Anne is 1.60. And when you want to compare them, you say Max is taller than Anne. Another example. Tom, 80 kilos, Peter, 60 kilos. Again, you are comparing. Tom is fatter than Peter. Anne and Monica. Anne's hair is longer than Monica's hair. Look at the three examples again. Taller than, fatter than, longer than. What do you notice? Yes, to compare two adjectives, we add er at the end of the adjective and then after that. But does this rule work for each and every adjective? No, I don't think so. Look at this example. My book, your book. My book is more interesting than your book. Or Betty is more careful than Amy. Another example. Anne and Monica. Monica is more successful than Anne. The three sentences again. More interesting than, more careful than, more successful than. Then is the same. In the first examples as well as in the second ones, we use than. But what's the difference? How do we understand when to put more and when just to add er after the adjective? The rule is simple, in fact. When we have a short adjective means adjective with one syllable. Tall, fat, long, it's one syllable. So when the adjective is with one syllable, we just add er at the end of the adjective plus than. The other case. The adjective is more than one syllable. Interesting. How many? 4 syllables here. So it's more than one. When the adjective is long, we need more. Then we add the adjective, and then we add than. More successful than. More interesting than. More examples. High, big, quick, cheap. All of these are the short adjectives. So the correct forms would be higher than, bigger, quicker, cheaper, expensive, careless, beautiful, boring. You can't say it even expensiver, right? So more expensive, more careless, more beautiful, more boring. There are some spelling rules that you need to memorize. For example, this one. When the adjective finishes in y and you add er, the first important thing, y is changed into I, and after that you add er, happier. This happens only when there is consonant in front of y. And you know this rule, in fact. The other rule, the other spelling rule, my home is bigger than your home. Big is a short adjective and it finishes in a consonant. Before that, there is a vowel. Before that, there is consonant. So the rule: when the adjective, it doesn't matter if it is short or long, finishes in consonant, vowel, consonant, and you add er, the last consonant is doubled. Big, bigger. Consonant, vowel, consonant. This is important. Do you notice something strange about the first example? Exactly. Happy is not a short adjective because it has two syllables, right? Happy. Good. But when the adjective finishes in y, it doesn't matter if it is short or long. It takes the forms of the short adjectives. So the correct way to say it is happier. I'm happier than you, not I'm more happy than you. And some more examples here. Pretty, happy, heavy, early, easy. Prettier, happier, heavier, earlier, easier. You see where the stress is in all of these adjectives? On the first syllable. That's the other really important part of the rule in order you to add I-E-R. Pretty, prettier. Happy, happier. More exceptions. Clever. When the adjective, the long adjective, finishes in ER, it takes the forms of the short adjective. Cleverer. Simple, on the same way. Simple, simpler. Narrow, narrower. When the adjective finishes in OW. Cruel, crueler. When the adjective finishes in EL. And again, pay attention to the stress. It's always on the first syllable. 4 more adjectives that are more interesting than all the others. So these adjectives you will need to be careful about all the time while you're talking. Why? Because if you're not, you will say something completely wrong. These adjectives are irregular. It means that they have special forms for the comparative and the superlative forms of the adjectives. For example, good, better, bad, worse, much or many, more. What was the difference between much and many? Good. Much, negative and question, many, positive and question. Much, uncountable. Little, less. So these are not all of the irregular adjectives. That's the beginning. So please remember these. In the next lessons, I'll give you a list of more irregular adjectives. And after all that talking, let's go and do the exercises. Here is your PDF. The first adjective The first exercise, you need to write the comparative form of the adjectives. Just the comparative form. If you want to make it a little bit more interesting, you may think of sentences of your own, and you may add them in the Q&A section after this lesson. The second one, there are some situations given. You need to write down the sentences. Good. So see you in the next lesson.